Hey everybody, welcome back to I Know a Guy. If you're new here, my name's Anthony. I'm a business profit advocate. On this show, we interview entrepreneurs, business owners, professionals, and just people doing cool things. For example, today we're meeting with Lance Kezner, co-founder and owner of Keep Life Tasty, a company born in his kitchen during COVID that skyrocketed to national shelves, including Walmart. Passionate about creating award-winning food and beverage products, Lance's mission is to help people navigate stress and anxiety through innovative plant-based offerings that honor his family's legacy of values and taste. How you doing today, Lance?
Nice to be here.
Yeah, I was super excited when I read a little bit about you and was wanting to kind of pick your brain. I think a lot of folks out there are going to be interested in what you're doing and kind of how you got started because I love entrepreneur stories, especially when they're born from something like COVID, where we're trying to figure things out. So, where are you calling in from? Where are you located?
Bellevue, Washington, just across the lake from Seattle.
Okay, awesome. Have you been there for a while? Are you new there? Are you a permanent resident?
Yeah, born and raised here, although I've lived all over the world. Been fortunate with that. But yeah, it's the Pacific Northwest is an awesome place to be.
Awesome. Well, what do you recommend people do when they go out there? If you have friends coming over, what do you guys like to do?
Well, I'm a big skier, so this time of year, skiing is great. We're, 45 minutes away from the closest ski area. Um, then there's hiking. There's the Pike Place Market in Seattle. There's the Amazon spheres. There's quite a bit to do here. But if you like rain and cloudy, that's what we got a lot of right now. But during the summer, it's amazing, and that's when everyone gets tricked into thinking that they can move here and it'll be like that for the rest of the year. But it's not really like that.
So you're
At least
saying,
that's what we tell everyone. We don't want them to all move here.
yeah, so you're saying pack a poncho or rain gear.
Exactly. Yeah. Because when they say, "What's the weather like?" we say, "Yes, it's everything."
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that exactly. So awesome. Well, what can you tell us about what you're doing? What is Keep Life Tasty all about?
Well, we, you know, we believe that food really can help uh, reduce stress and anxiety if it's used for the right purposes. And what we strive to do is to create innovative ideas that will help people during the day and kind of speak right to their pleasure centers of being satisfied with food. And we created a product called Millie's sipping broth that does that.
Awesome. So you created Millie Sipping Broth. You got started during the COVID era. What does that look like? How officially did you get started?
Well, the product came out of a need. The need was my wife is a teacher, and so between classes in the afternoon, she would get hungry. She wanted a snack, but she didn't want to eat all of the leftover cookies and cakes in the break room from the weekend before that the teachers would bring in to get rid of. So she wanted something savory. And so she used to take a bouillon cube with her so she could make broth out of it in between classes because it was quick. And she told me about that. And I said, you know what? Let me make something for you that's a little bit healthier. Uh, and so I took herbs and spices and dehydrated vegetables and put it together. And she goes, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So she and I worked together to create something that was a little more useful. And she said, let's put it in a tea bag so I can make it really quickly. And so we ripped open Lipton tea bags. We poured out the tea. We took this blend that we put together, put it in the tea bag, and then she took it to work with her and put it in the break room, and everyone went crazy over it. And we looked at each other and thought, "Oh, we have something. This is, you know." We there was nothing in the category that existed as a daily broth that you would drink. Nothing existed at the time, and we just thought this was convenient and could be used in all kinds of ways.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, so you start in your home kitchen, but then you end up on Walmart shelves. Clearly something happened between then and then. What was that? What that look like?
We're a 12-year overnight success. Nothing is easy. I mean, we started in our kitchen. We got up out of our kitchen within the first 90 days. One of the really important things that we did is that we focused on trying to get people to buy the product as quickly as possible and to find a place where it could be made in scale. And so we focused on those things. In fact, we were at the Pike Place Market. We had a booth there and we were selling on the street, right across the street from the first Starbucks store. 90 degrees outside, we're selling broth, and it was kind of crazy, but we were able to do it. And so we just built on small advancements like that. So we would find customers, like retail customers, and then we would expand our manufacturing. And we just kept leveraging the two, right? One would drive the other. The increase in customers would drive the need for bigger production, making sure that the quality was okay, all those things. And COVID really kind of speeded everything up for us in a lot of ways.
Okay. That's awesome. So your products, they focus on helping people manage stress and anxiety. How do you incorporate those values into your food and beverage innovations, and what impact do you hope they have on on your customers?
Well, the whole purpose of Millie's sipping broth is for you to take some time out of the day to stop, make the product, and enjoy it. And so it's very purposeful. And I got to tell you, we didn't come up with the idea, of creating products that help people with stress and anxiety right from the beginning. It just kind of happened. We created the product, and then people told us, this is great. I kind of get to take some time to myself, and I get to, get satisfied with this warm, savory vegetable broth that tastes amazing, tastes like my mom or my grandmother made it for me. And so we basically kind of put into this product this process that you need to, you sit down, you take 4 minutes to steep it. You're smelling it as you're steeping it, and then you drink it. And if that gives people a 10-minute break during the day, it's like 10 minutes of meditation, right? Except we're having you do it with a something that tastes really good. And so that's kind of what we did. Like I said, we didn't plan it that way. It just kind of happened that way. But people really they do tell us that it does get them to kind of slow down and focus on, just having some peace.
Yeah, I like that. There's something to be said about the ritual of doing something, and then nostalgia, like you said, tastes like home. It tastes like, something my mom or my. No, I like that. I like that a lot. You've won multiple awards from the Specialty Food Association. What do you think keep Life Tasty apart from the other food brands out there in the beverage food industry?
We've been doing this for about 12 years, and I think what keeps us apart from this is that, we don't really consider ourselves experts in the food business. And what that does is it really kind of um, keeps us looking like outsiders looking in. And so we don't know what barriers there are. We don't know what limitations there are when it comes to creating an idea. And that, I think, is probably what sets us apart, is that we don't really consider ourselves experts, even though we've won 3 awards that are, like they're like the Oscars of the food business. I was just having lunch with someone, and he kind of asked me the same thing. I said, "Yeah, I mean, there's so much I don't know about the consumer packaged good because there's so many details that are involved, and there are companies that focus on, each one of these small details. But overall, we kind of look at ourselves as innovators, and we look for reasons to create things that impact our lives, that make our lives easier, and that are simple to understand.
Okay. So you've been doing it for 12 years. You guys obviously have some hard-won lessons. You've went through it just like every entrepreneur does. A lot of us share a lot of common, hey, this was hard, this was hard, this was hard. What advice or what have you learned along the way that you would pass down maybe to yourself back then or to an aspiring, entrepreneur looking to break into the competitive world of food and beverage?
I think the one thing that we did, so a piece of advice that I got really early on was, do not try to make this, whatever you're going to make, don't try to make it yourself. Find a professional organization that knows how to make the product, or maybe is familiar with making it. Because when you're innovating something new, it may not fit directly with what someone has done before. But the idea is, if you find someone who can make it for you, you will not focus on that, and you will focus on getting it to where it needs to go, finding a market, focusing on the quality of it, and focus on growing it. Because so that was a piece of advice that I got really early on, and you know what? I stuck to it, and it really, really helped us out. We were very tempted to want to do everything ourselves, but you know, the biggest challenge is not making a product. The biggest challenge is selling it and getting people to buy it over and over again.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So 12 years, you're getting pretty good at it. What do you love about it? What is your favorite thing about what you're doing?
I think the thing that keeps us going is, maybe a couple of times a week, we will get either a phone call or an email from a customer who uses our product to tell us how much they love it, how much I remember we got an email from someone who said that they bought it for their mother who was going through chemo treatment, and how the mother, that was the only thing that she liked, that she could eat during the treatment. Or a couple of days ago, someone left a review that said, "I'm addicted. It's the first thing I have after my intermittent fast in the morning." Those little nuggets of feedback are really what keep us going, because there's an amazing amount of work. And believe me, we get complaints too. This little bag tore, or there's these kinds of things too. It's not all positive stuff. Um, my shipment arrived late, those kinds of things. But those little positive pieces of feedback are really what are amazing in this business.
Yeah, for sure. And that's important not to gloss over is, you're in business. There's gonna be some negative. You're gonna have some people that aren't 100% satisfied or had an issue. So when you're talking to somebody, let's say they have an idea and they want to start a consumer packaged good product, what advice do you give them?
Uh, First off, create what's a lot of people call an MVP, a minimum viable product. Create something that you can sell as quickly as possible. Don't overthink it. Don't spend a year in your house kind of planning every detail of it, because you'll never do it. Make it as quickly as you possibly can. Find a place to get it made, and get people to buy it as quickly as you can. Don't worry about the packaging being perfect. Don't worry about everything being perfect, because it's going to be a continual process. What you should focus on is the value of the item to the person you're trying to sell it to, or to the market you're trying to sell it to. What is the solution that you're providing? And does that market, or does that person find it valuable enough that they will give you money for it? Those are the most critical things out there.
Okay. How do you find so once they do that, they have the product ready to go. How do I find customers for my product?
Um, I think, you got to use the inspiration for creating the product as a hint. Okay. So if you created a product to solve a problem, you got to find customers that are that have the same kind of problem. All right. And then you have to be able to communicate to those customers uh, the problem that they identify with, and then your solution. And so the easiest place to find customers is direct on, through a website, through social media. Those are the easiest ways. Amazon, that's a really easy way too. So going first, go to the end customers first. All right. The second thing is find the markets that serve those customers. And when I say markets, that could be a physical market, it could be a Facebook group, it could be a LinkedIn group, it could be a specialty store, it could be a mass market like Safeway or Costco. But start small and build up your messaging, making sure that you can make the product at a good quality. And the customers, if they find it valuable, they will refer other customers to you.
So when you're starting off, are there any like power partners that you worked with that people you synergized well with while you were kind of getting to where you are now that you might have been able to work together back and forth pretty well?
We were pretty lucky after we won our last award. We found a partner company that really believed in what we were doing. And so they've been instrumental in giving us the confidence to go after large accounts like Walmart, and also to sustain us during COVID, where manufacturing was a super big challenge. And during COVID, we also connected with Weight Watchers, and Weight Watchers was incredible partner with us at that time because they put us on the front page of their website to 4.5 million subscribers and gave us a 0 point rating. And the 0 is the best rating you can get for food on Weight Watchers. Um, and during COVID, everyone was doing everything, right? They were dieting, they were eating too much, they were drinking too much, whatever. But everyone was at home, and that's where the product really went viral. And then we became the best-selling vegetable broth on Amazon during that time. It was amazing.
Awesome. Is there anything that I missed that you wanted to add?
I think that if you're going to create a product, you've got to, answer these questions. Am I innovating? Is this a solution that doesn't exist? Um, am I going to be happy doing this every day for 10 years? Is it going to be enough to drive me? And am I going to be interested enough to be able to do this? Um, and do I already have a job that I can use to sustain me and support me while I'm trying to get this product off the road? If you can answer yes to all those questions, go for it. If there's any doubt in any of those things, then you need to rethink what you're doing. But I can't stress enough how important it is to keep your day job until it gets so hard that you cannot, that you have to make a choice between your new venture, or it's like standing on the tip of a ladder and letting go. If you let go of that ladder, are you going to be okay? That's the way I kind of think of it. But yeah, that's what I would leave people with.
Well, that's great advice. Definitely, and it's for all entrepreneurship, right? Make sure that there's a safe landing. At least, if you're going to take the risk, like you said, let it get to the point where it's hard enough that you have to make a choice. So I like that. What's the best way that people find you or get a hold of you or all of that?
Yeah, so our website is sippingbroth.com, and that's where you can find Millie Sipping Broth. We're also available at select Walmarts, about half the Walmarts across the country. We have a store finder on our website, and we're also available on Amazon as well.
Awesome. Well, if anybody would like to, get in touch with Lance, absolutely go to the website, check it all out. You won't be disappointed. I definitely recommend. He's a super nice guy. If somebody would prefer an introduction, ask me. I'll have all those links and everything in the description, so it's easier to find, so we don't have to try and type it out because I misspell things for a living. So we'll copy and paste it over. But other than that, if anybody out there would like to be interviewed, feel free to reach out to me. I'll also have my link tree and everything in the description below, so feel free to grab a time. I'd love to have a conversation. But Lance, I really appreciate you coming on, kind of talking about your journey, what got you where you guys are. It's super, super awesome to kind of see people doing it because you can't have enough of that. Entrepreneurship's awesome. So seeing people do it and accomplish and get to their goals and reach their goals and inspire others, um, that's a daily thing that I think we all need to see. So really appreciate you pouring into us. Let's all get out there. Let's make the world a better place and meet some more people. All right.
Anthony, thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.